is Virtually Inspired, the show that is all about helping you up your game when it comes to virtual learning experiences. Let's change the landscape of virtual from awful to awesome. My name is Melissa Dinwiddie, and I help innovative companies grow sales and retain customers and talent with creative virtual experiences because I infuse connection, joy, and delight into virtual trainings and events. So, welcome. Today's guest is Ulises Morena-Sereno, who uses art, primarily theater, as a way to help people to know themselves better in order to live better lives. How freaking cool is that, right? He works primarily with employees at organizations and also with individuals in therapy. And he developed a program, Applied Theater CDMX. Sounds maybe mysterious, but what it really is it's aimed to promote theater as an agent of life change in different settings, individual or social. Now, Ulises has he's very lettered. He has a doctorate in mental health, as a master in psychology, and a Bachelor of dramatic literature and theater. So he has a wide range of experience, and I am absolutely delighted to have Ulises here on the show. Welcome, Ulises.
Thank you, Melissa. So great of being here finally after several months of planning.
It has been several months to get you on the show. Yes. Thank you for joining me. So tell me a little bit about, I know your program is it's fully virtual, is that right?
Totally virtual. So we managed to adapt a lot of the classical theater techniques to run online. So we have to explore a lot. And that's something that the pandemics and the physical restrictions allowed us to do. And right now we have a very wide range of dynamics to make things work online and create deep connections within our participants during the whole program.
So did the program initially start as a virtual program, or did it start in person and then transition to virtual?
It was planned to be presence, but the lack of knowledge of applied theater in Mexico did not make the did not make the whole range of participants we needed to open the first program. So when pandemics hit, I decided, well, why not? You know, so I ran a few series of workshops and realized it was possible. And so I said, well, let's do it. We had our first group on 2020 and 21. And then we had our second 21, 22, and we are going for more.
That's fantastic. So what I'm curious, was there a lot of changes between the first group and the second group? Did you learn a lot from that experience that led you to change things?
Yeah, there was a lot of learning, more than with the techniques themselves. It was more about the contents of the program, different ways to teach the different techniques and the aim of them. We incorporated some other subjects and some other demonstrations of the way to use those techniques in order to aid benefits in people.
Excellent. I love it. So cool. So I know you brought some activities with you. So shall we play? Shall we do some activities?
I'm totally excited about it. So The first one I would like to invite you to do is one that is called Colombian Hypnosis. It comes from Boal, which was a Brazilian theater maker, which also stayed in United States and or in Europe also. So this dynamic is an excellent warm-up exercise. You can do it in pairs, and it's a way to keep the body moving and also to shift the way you're thinking from concrete ideas to more physical ideas. So what I'm going to be doing with you is I'm going to use my hand as a way of making the hypnosis, and uh, I'm gonna tell you which part of your body I'm hypnotizing.
Okay.
So, for instance, if I say right shoulder and then I go like this, you would move your shoulder. That's right, you got it. You're awesome. And what if I do this? Now, what about head? What about shoulders? What about mouth? Again, head. Now you can do me.
Okay. All right. Left shoulder. Nose. Mouth. Both shoulders. Head.
I'm already a puppet. So I love this exercise as a warm up because it builds trust. It allows people to relax and also lose self judgment. You are so focused on the way you're being directed that you forget about how you're looking, the way you look.
Yeah.
And it also builds empathy because you, as a director of the movement, you cannot go faster than what the other person can move. So you have to learn to respect the pace of the other person. So it's a bidirectional exercise that helps people to listen to each other without actually having to use words. Um, it obviously has a lot of benefits on coordination, executive functions. I mean, there are a lot of benefits on the neurological basis of this exercise. So it's not only useful for a warm up, it also has several benefits which you can exploit, whether you are aiming for something more on the health issue or just to get your group into the mood.
I love it. It's a, makes me think of the classic improv mirror exercise. It's a variation on that, and which is such a, those exercises are so great for so many debriefs, and one of which is the leadership, because when you are leading, you have to think about your follower. You can't, as you said, you can't just do something crazy and fast and wacky, because your follower can't follow something like that for pure physical physical, like, safety reasons. If I were to do like head and then, do something like that, you'd need a chiropractor afterwards. Like, throw your neck out. Plus somebody can't follow something if you do it too fast, because there are limitations on what they can see and track and scan and be able to follow. So it's a great leadership exercise that leaders have to follow the follower. So that I often use those kinds of activities as a way to sort of get the light bulbs going off over people's heads in that regard as well. And I think this would be a good one for that too.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, you have to be aware of the capabilities of your own team. You
Yes.
cannot just go ahead and ask something that you have not made your team grow on their abilities to perform. And that's a situation that often happens with leaders when they do not get in touch with the members of their team. I mean, it's like, for instance, on software development, they are like selling things that are not technologically possible yet. and that's a big mistake. I mean, you have to know the technological issues as well as the capabilities of your team, and you have to act in agreement with them. So yeah, I mean, this is an excellent exercise for doing so.
It's a great one. I've never actually done this one before, but I've seen videos of it in person, but I've never done it, and I've certainly never done it, in a virtual setting. So thank you. I absolutely love it, and I'm gonna definitely add it to my toolbox of activities. It's fantastic.
Yeah, this one was one of the exercises we had to adapt because on in person you would go like touching the part of the person you are hypnotizing, so there is actually no verbal interchange, but online you cannot go and touch something because this exercise we made it uh, with the whole participants working at the same time. So it was sort of crazy because you were listening to your partner like going ahead, then the other one hand, shoulders, and they were moving, and everyone was very concentrated on their partner, not on the surrounding noise that was generated by the older people. So
Wow.
and it was very funny because since I was just watching, I could see the whole dance they were making, and it was awesome because at, at some point there is a moment in which you actually get caught in the movement your partner is doing. So there's a synchronic moment in which you actually don't know whether you are leading or not. And that also makes a great reflection upon well oiled teams when
Beautiful.
there's enough synergy that you don't know who the leader is actually.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's one of the moments when I lead a simple, mirror activity is that moment where going from, okay, partner A is leading, okay, switch, partner B is leading, okay, switch, partner A, switch, partner B, switch, partner A, switch, partner B. Okay, now switch, pass the lead back and forth, and let it evolve until you don't know who is leading whom. And that is always such a magical moment
Yeah.
when they can't quite tell who is leading and who is following. I love that. And I can see that happening with this activity as well. That's really beautiful. So
Yeah.
I love how you've taken this in-person activity and really adapted it and made it work for virtual. And do you feel like that has worked well to have it be a main room, everybody doing it at once?
I think it works well, and it works on different levels. Whether you do it on breakout rooms and you have the people working like that, and whether you have it on an open room, everyone working with everyone, because it helps them to focus on their actual leader, not on what's going on in the room. So it can be useful for several purposes.
Good point. Yeah. To have to really focus on your partner despite all of the chaos that's happening around you.
Yeah, it helps to uh, discriminate what is really important, what's your
Yeah.
show. Yeah,
Yeah, to find the signal in the midst of all the noise. That's great. Really, really nice. All right, so next up, what's your next activity?
okay, so also from Boal, there is the use of status. And I really love the use of status because it makes us think in different levels. So what I want to invite you to do is to think about something that is really, really, really important for you, um, And I would like you to think of a way of representing it, the way it makes you think, the way it makes you feel, which emotions, which judgments you have upon that, on a statue, on a freezed image.
Okay.
Okay, so what I see is both hands holding the chest. Um, it gives me a warm sensation. Uh, the way the shoulders are relaxed and the way the neck is a little bit uplift, as well as the head, eyes closed. It makes me feel like very relaxed and confident. Does that check with you?
Yes.
Okay. What were you thinking about doing this statue?
I was thinking about my husband.
Oh, that's so nice. Hope he's watching. uh, it really made me feel like in a very secure position, you know? Uh, Lots of confidence, lots of trust, you know? Uh, and having people do the expression of these complex situations on a statue uh, makes us realize how we can communicate on different levels. And it's a very easy way of handling different situations or complex situations. For instance, I use this within a series of exercises to build upon strategies to fight against burnout.
Mm.
What we do on that workshop is we use these statues to build what people feel about their workload, about their preferred settings, about the way they handle workload and work pressure. And so by doing this, we all realize that we are triggered by different stressors. What stresses you does not necessarily stresses me. And this is a very good way of doing it without getting into these sort of games of, oh, you cannot be stressed by that, you should be stressed by this, you know. So by using these images, these statues, we uh, actually feel what we are feeling. We are more aware of the things we are expressing and the thoughts we are having. And then we can build upon solutions to manage or help us handle our stressors better.
I love that. That's
So,
so beautiful. Like just the simple act of embodying our feelings can allow us to access them more easily and to relate, help other people to relate and have more empathy. And it's so powerful. That's
yeah,
so beautiful. And it's so simple.
yeah, it's very simple. Anyone can do it. There are no limitations upon your physical abilities or, you know, some people might feel threatened by the let's improv or let's do a scene or, you know, and this one's so simple. We all have played charades, so this is a technique that is quite close to it.
Well, and I think there's something so powerful about uh, about just make a statue that represents something that's important to you, or whatever the prompt is, that is accessible for people, often more accessible than describe in words XYZ, right? Because which is something that we're all trained in, that left brain, quote unquote, that left brain thinking. I mean, I know that's such a metaphor, but um we're trained in verbal processing for, because our society prioritizes that so heavily, that we're all trained in that from when we're very, very young, because we all go to school to learn to read and write, and that's what is prioritized. But that's not always the easiest way to access feelings and other things that are very, very important. And it's not always the best way for us to communicate on, you know, that level of, emotions, feelings, what's really going on underneath. And sometimes it's hard for us to understand what's really going on. And if we can just make a statue, then we can actually open a door or a window and really tap into those experiences more easily than if we like try to name or label it. That can sometimes be really challenging.
Yeah, actually, you said it yourself. We first think of images rather than words. So image come first, then comes words,
Yeah.
and for an image, you might think of one or two. Actually, you might think just of one when you are prompt on something. While on words, you have a lot of words to describe an image, and usually you can also hide yourself within words. So yeah, this is a very useful exercise. Also, for instance, when you are talking about what does the mission or the vision of an organization means to you, and express it within a statue.
Mm,
Also, an awesome exercise.
yeah. It makes me think about one of the things I learned this from a colleague, Erica Marks. One of my favorite ways to close out a workshop is through I do an embodied closing, where I'll ask people, will be standing around in a circle. This is obviously in person. It's possible to do something similar in a virtual setting, but it's not quite as easy. We'll all be standing around in a circle, and one at a time, whoever wants to can step into the center of the circle and essentially make a statue, strike a pose that represents something that they're taking away from the experience. And so it probably has, I don't know where Erica got it, but maybe, it probably comes from Boal. It's you know, um, I'm bringing away, and they'll make a pose and then say what it is. So I'm bringing away all the closeness and the this is a hug. All the closeness and connection that I experienced this weekend, or whatever it is. And then somebody else will add to the tableau the group statue that we're all making, and join the the group statue. And it's such a powerful way to close out an experience.
Sure. Also, because you would have a final image, the image of the images, as a
Yeah.
result. And that's very powerful for people.
Yes, it's it's really nice, and I like it better than just going around the circle and everybody
Same. Yeah.
saying in words. There's something more powerful about it when you get the body involved. Well, I see that it is already half past the hour. That went so fast. I can't believe it. I would love to keep you on and keep learning amazing activities from you because I know you have more to share, but I don't want to keep you because I know you only signed up for a half an hour. So um, before we wrap up, I wanted to ask you, do you have any place you want to send people or anything that you want to share that's going on that you're excited about?
Well, yeah. I'd just like to say to people that we are facing difficult times coming from the pandemics and stuff. And well, the statistics on burnout had raised enormously. So I'd just like to put out a message out there, which is you can always do something about the way you're feeling.
Mm,
You can always change perspective. You can always uh, do things differently. The first key to do that would be in which way would I be feeling better by doing this? We usually get so focused on what is not comfortable for us, but that only makes us stress a lot because we are just watching what we are not in comfort with. So, trying to focus on what you can do, which makes you feel better, is a real relief. And very much of doing that has to do with theater, has to
mm.
do with coming to represent yourself on a different reality, which you can be at.
I love it. I love it. Beautiful. Thank you for that. And I will share that as always. I'm going to change this. Here we go. Change that and remove. Let's see if I can find this. There we go. Remove that for a moment. So as always, I like to share that every month, typically every month, it's not happening next month because I am going to be out of town, but typically every month I run a learning lab and I teach hands-on, so you get to experience for yourself activities similar to what we did here, but you get to actually experience them hands-on. So, and there's always a theme. They're always based on a theme. So the next one's going to be in August. And I'm giving you a little tip here. This may be my last learning lab. So this is the one to sign up if you haven't done it yet and you've been thinking, gee, I should sign up for a learning lab one of these days. This is the one because it might just be the last one. So sign up for the August Learning Lab. It's August 18th. The theme is curiosity. What would happen if? And if you've never been to a learning lab before, you can come to your first one for free using the code First Timer. The link, let me pop a little banner here. There we go. The link is bit.ly/monthly-lab, capital M, capital L. It is case sensitive. That will get you to the page all about learning labs where you can register. And again, use that code First Timer to register for your first lab for free. So that's all about learning labs. And again, little tip, you're the first ones to know. The August lab is very likely to be the last one, or at least the last one on the regular. It's not that I'll never ever do a lab again, but yeah, probably going to be stopping them. So you heard it here first, folks. All right, so that is that. And I'm going to pull that down and come back. There we go. All right.
Thank
All right.
you. It has been my pleasure. It has
Oh,
been awesome being with you.
Lisa, this has been so much fun, and I've just so enjoyed the activities that you shared and so enjoyed meeting you. And I would love to have you back anytime. for more of these amazing activities. Thank you so much for joining me, and keep doing your amazing, amazing stuff.
Thank you. You too. Hope you have a lot of people registered on your next Creative Lab.
Thank you so much. All right. Thanks, everybody. See you. Oh, wait. I always forget. Thank you. Next guest is going to be, the next show is going to be July 5th. So 2 weeks, day after the 4th of July. And Andrea Wodniak is going to be my next guest. And Andrea teaches improvisational theater to groups. She leads various creative projects in social fields. She does individual lessons in singing and acting. She's a fellow musician, as am I. I know she does musical improvisational music. She's now in the process of passing on her packed suitcase of exercises, methods, and knowledge in coaching and workshops. So I'm super excited to bring her on the show. Maybe we'll do some, I don't know, musical improv on the show. We'll see. Anyway, so Andrea Wodniak on July 5th. Come back right here on LinkedIn to see that. And with that, I will wrap this up and thank you again, Ulises, and see you around, everybody. Thanks for watching. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell to get video updates. Thanks.